This is our time.
Hi guys, I'm Kirsty and I'm here with the lovely Echo for the first part of our turnout series. Today we're going to show you how to plait a mane and forelock. Before we get going, we're going to gather everything that you need. So we need a damp sponge, a mane and tail brush, a comb, white plaiting bands to match the colour of his mane, plaiting mousse, which is optional, and plaiting wax, which is optional as well, and these just help to tame any flyaways.
You want to start with a clean mane, however try not to use a detangler or a conditioning spray as it can make it quite slippery and harder to grip. Once you've brushed through your pony's mane, go in with your damp sponge along the top of the mane. This just helps to keep the hair all together and easier to grab, making a much neater plait. Go in with your plaiting mousse, this helps it go really nice and tacky and easy to grip. Split the mane into even sections. You want to end up with an odd number. Depending on how much mane you have will decide how many plaits you have and how big your plaits are as well. Splitting the mane into an odd number means when you add the forelock plait in later, it makes it an even number in total. Using a comb is really helpful to make sure each section is the same width. We plait to make our ponies look nice for show and competition turnout. Some competitions require you to plait, such as competing in dressage, eventing, and some showing classes. Now it's time to start plaiting. Go in with your plaiting wax to tame any flyaways. This isn't necessary, but it does make the plaits look extra smart and does help to hold them in for longer. Cross over one of the sections into the middle from the outside, starting from the left and then the right, using your thumb to secure the middle every time. Remember to keep pulling it tight so it doesn't become loose, and keep plaiting the whole way down. This can be really fiddly to start with, but after lots of practice it will become easier. Try to start at the top of the mane, because if your pony begins to get fidgety later on, it's much easier to finish plaiting at the bottom of the mane rather than the top. Secure the end of the plait with a band. Continue plaiting the rest of the sections until the whole mane has been plaited. Now it's time to roll your plaits. You want to fold it in half, and then half again, and then secure it with a band. There is actually two ways to plait. Today we are using bands, however you could use a thread and needle to help secure your plaits. This is really helpful if you need your plaits to stay in overnight or for a longer period of time, however bands are probably a bit quicker and a little less fiddly. Continue rolling the rest of your plaits until you have a finished look. The prep for the forelock plait is quite similar to the mane. You want to go in first with your damp sponge, then go in with your plaiting mousse. It's probably best to put it onto your hand and then put it straight onto his forelock instead of trying to pump it onto his forelock. This makes sure it doesn't go into your pony's eyes. Finally, go in with your plaiting wax. Use your comb to work through the product and get rid of any last tangles. Once you've combed through the forelock, grab 3 small sections at the top of the forelock. Have the band on your finger at the ready to avoid letting it go later. Begin the plait by crossing it over from the right and then the left. Then begin adding in small sections from each side each time. Cross your outside section into the middle and hold it tight with your thumb. Then from the same side, gather a tiny bit more hair and add it into that same section. This creates a French plait. Continue this method until the whole of the forelock is in the plait. When you have run out of hair to add, keep plaiting all the way down. Secure the end of the plait with a band and fold the end upwards. Fold it inwards and up again, and then secure this with a band. And that's you done. Here is your forelock plait.
So here is the finished look. We really hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for part 2 where we show you how to do quarter marks and plait your pony's tail. Bye!